So you are able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
No, I am recording, Devender. I will share you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sure. Denied.
It's already recorded. So
Okay.
okay. So let's see. We'll go with iframes today. Iframe concept is very, very important in modern nowadays because uh, iframe. So what do you mean by iframe? Like, what do you think about frames? You are able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you think about frame? Say
Sir. No.
any frame, like we assume that if we have any photo frame or like anything. Say for example, in your home, we are having one photo frame, right?
Yes,
Say
sir.
photo frame, you may have the multiple frames inside that. Say for example, assume that you have one frame like this. Okay. Say in this frame, you may have the multiple photos like your parents or your brother or how it is going to be full-fledged photo, and there is a one more photo called as a smaller ones. Okay. And here
Yes, sir.
some kind of bigger photo frame. Some you may have the multiple photos, right? In one
Yes, sir.
photo, if you can see the multiple photos, frames, right? Inside the
Yes,
frame. So that is what we are going to see. So this is one called as a frame one, like frame two, frame three, frame four, and like this. So
okay.
basically, in web applications also, so how this is a one web page, right? So when we are having a web page, when you see normally you can have the pages. Say for example, this is one page and it is divided into like this. Okay. Or you have a web page, you have one more web page called as like this, you may have the web page. So like this is a three frames here. So this is one frame one, and this is frame one, and this one is frame two,
Okay.
and this one is frame two, and this is frame three. Okay. So now,
Yes, sir.
if this is the scenario, how are you going to identify the web elements? That is more important. So in frames, that frame is nothing but, see, we have one HTML element, right? So when you're having HTML element inside one more HTML element, that is called as a frames, because we can,
Frames, okay.
yeah, we can have like nested elements, right? Within the
Yes,
HTML,
sir.
you are having one more HTML. Say for example, normally what is going to happen? We have the script like HTML, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
then we have the closed HTML tag. So you assume that this is a one HTML tag, right? But
Yes, sir.
in this, you may have one more HTMLs. Okay, so that is what we are going to see. So if this is the case, how the web elements are going to identify the elements? So this is what we are going to see now, because our intention is what? You have to identify the elements first, right?
Yes, sir.
So without identifying the element, then it won't able to perform the action. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, how to do this? So this is a kind of frames. So inside an HTML element, we are having one more HTML element. So how are we going to identify that in web pages? So basically, so this is a one web page. When you right click on this, if you can see inspect here, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have see the view page source, because if the web page is having frames, then you can notice it here frames, you will get the frames also, view frames,
Okay.
inspect, like that. So if we take one example of that, like one frame. See, one URL we have that. I will just okay. So this is the URL. Say for example, if you take any online example. So now what I am doing now, this is one web page, right? So this is having the
Sir.
multiple frames are there. So this is
Yeah.
one frame, and this is second frame, and this is third frame and fourth frame like this. So now if I am going to right click on this, see here when I am using, you are getting one view frame source, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is nothing but this is a constructed under a view frames, okay, and inspect. Okay, so basically what you will do now, if I want to pass a text here, Srinath. So, okay, so normally what you people will do, normally we will right click on this and inspect, okay, and identify the element and passing the parameter, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
Now we will do the same thing. Now we can do the same thing in our scenario also. Let us see whether the application is going to handle it or not. Okay. So for that, what we have to do basically, we have to create one iframes, right? So
Let's see.
we have okay. See the here under this demo we have, right? So here we are going to create one more class here. Okay, we will create one class. Okay, say for example, dem frame. So now I am going to create one class. So normally, what all are the steps we are going to do? Initially, if you want to execute a program, what we have to do? First of all, we have to
But
install the browser, right?
yes, sir.
So what we will do for that, web driver, right? Web
Yeah.
driver, control space. You can see web driver, and then you have to go with driver is equal to new
New web tray.
box.
Firefox control space.
Okay, so now we are
Yes, sir.
launching this. So now once we launch this, then normally we have to use the Mac,
Driver dot.
right? Driver dot maximize manage dot maximize dot
Okay. Maximize.
window. Under that window we have, right, options.
Yes, sir.
Under that window, then maximize, right? Minimize
Yes,
and maximize. So now once we maximize the browser, then we are going to use the driver dot get URL, right? You need to
URL paste. Yes,
right?
sir.
So within the double quotes, you have to
We
pass.
can paste URL.
Okay. So now
Yes,
once
sir.
this, now next step is what we have to uh, wait property. We need to use that wait property, right? Driver dot manage dot
Simplicity. In
timeouts dot
as a timeout start.
implicit wait dot
Implicit.
implicit. Now we have the duration. Earlier time, but now we have the duration, right? So we have
Yes,
to
sir.
with duration dot time of seconds. So here you have duration of seconds, right? So you need to use the seconds here of seconds. So now here you have to use the 10 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds. So this is what you have to, because if you go with that normal wait, it will throw you that implicit wait is no longer applicable in the latest things, right?
Yeah.
So now we have done this. Now after this, what we have to do? We need to identify the elements, right? How to
Yes, sir.
identify the element? Driver dot
Driver find elements.
find element. So here we have to pass the
I
by
we have
dot,
to check.
right?
Yes, sir.
So now we will see, now we will go to the back to this, and now we can identify this element. So now you have this right click, inspect. So this is what we are having right here. Name
Yes, sir.
is the name. So how we can able to identify this? Can you tell me XPath for this? Now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
do we go with XPath or normal name function? Because we
Name function by name, by dot name.
by dot name we can directly
Yes, sir.
use this.
You
So
can paste the name. Yes, sir.
yeah, so here I can. So once we use this, then how to pass the text within this send keys, right? By using
Send keys. Yes, sir.
send keys. So send keys I am passing in the text. So now I am going to use this. So
So
now
by dot name, you have to give full, right?
what, which one?
By dot name.
No, that's all. Here you have given, right? By dot name. This one only you have given. That name only
Okay.
you have captured, right? Here.
Okay, not necessary HTML tag anything, sir.
No. Why?
Input and
See, this is the, here you are already given the web drive URL, right?
yeah.
Once you launch the URL, then you have to identify the field, right? That field
Yes,
which
sir,
you
yes.
are doing. Okay, so now
Actually, we are doing in browser. Actually, find HTML tag and less than input and write. We are writing the finding the XPath right in browser.
no. Okay, so that is a see, that is when I said whenever you do not identify ID and name.
Yeah.
Okay, suppose if you are not able to identify ID and name, suppose this one input tag is there, right? For
Yes,
this
sir.
input here, you may not be able to identify name identifier or any ID identifier. In that case,
Okay.
you can go with the uh,
HTML
XPath.
less than
Yeah.
XPath. Yes, sir.
So we can use that also here. Say for example, I will tell you. So this is one. So you are saying that you have to go with another one. So that is
Yes.
how you are thinking driver dot find element. Okay. Here you are saying that by dot XPath.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the XPath expression.
Okay, sir.
So this is XPath, right? By dot XPath.
Yes.
So we have a XPath here. So here in this double quotes, we have to pass the value. So how to pass this? How to identify the XPath for this? Tell me. Now double click. Suppose
Double
Control F, you will get now double click
slash
//
input
Yeah, what is the HTML tag? Input.
input, sir.
Input, right?
Yes, sir.
So input. Then you have to go with
At the rate
yeah, attribute. What is the attribute name? Which all are the attributes are there here? You have
name
type,
text
name,
type
size,
text.
all are there. So you are going
Yes,
with
sir.
name attribute, right?
Yes, sir.
Name is
Is
equal
equal
to, what is
double
text
quotes
here? My test
my
one.
text. Yes, sir.
So just copy this. Now you can close this. So you got the one of one, right?
Yes, sir. That's that is I'm talking like, sir.
Yeah.
I
So
have to
now
write
you
in
can,
maybe.
yes, now you can copy this and put it in our double quotes inside the double.
Yes, sir.
So this one. And now
Yeah.
you have to pass the send keys right
And
here.
the case.
Dot
Yes, sir.
send keys. You can use any, you have to use in double quotes, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So now what I will do here, now I will comment this first. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now I will try to execute. Is this going to be now we will run this script. What is going to happen? It is going to run the script, right?
Yes,
Perfectly.
sir.
Because we have identified the element and we are not going to use any function. We are just passing the parameter. That's it, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's see now how we can run this. So by Java application, now if I run this, browser is launching and URL is entered and it is loading the page. Everything is perfectly fine, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
why it is not happening here? The text is not able to take, right? Because in this, the first field, however, we have identified this field, we identified the element also, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But still value is not passing, and maybe system will throw you an error message saying that, see, unable to locate an element, name is equal to my text one.
My
Right?
text. Yes, sir.
So what all are the reasons? Suppose when you wrote any wrong XPath, sometimes you may get this message, maybe unable to identify the element, right?
Yes, sir.
Now let us see. Now I will comment this, because with this also you will get the same option, unable to locate the element with XPath, because it is not able to identify the web element, right? Because that is under a frame. See, normally application should identify it will wait for 10 seconds and it will throw you error.
Okay.
So duration, right? So see here, unable to locate an element, right?
Okay.
Element,
Okay.
no such element exception we are getting here. So now why we are getting this in because this is inside a frame. This is not directly a web page. So this
Okay.
element present under inside a frame, iframe. See, now if you will go with here, view frame. See here you have, right, frame. So initially you have one head tag and this is a HTML. So this is a from method and this body. This is form and name, my test, right? This is a frame.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
See here you have, right, frame set. So this is the inside a frame. This is HTML. Under inside an HTML you have the frames,
Frame.
frame set.
Okay, sir.
See, when I am identifying this frame1.html, this is another HTML, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
And again, when you go down here, one more HTML is there. See here, frame underscore 3.html, frame underscore 2.html. So these all are the multiple HTML only, right? HTML inside there are multiple HTML web elements, right?
Okay.
So that's why, because it's not able to capture it, because this is under HTML web frame. So that's why in order to avoid this, what the people are came into the picture, they are going to use the concept called as here driver dot switch to, okay? Switch to dot frame. We have a concept called frame. See, we have three ways we can able to use that: frame, int, index, and string and web element. So can you tell me which kind of concept we are using here in
Web
when it
element.
comes to the object oriented programming? What is going to be considered here? Which is going to be applicable here?
An object or web element we can find it, sir.
Yeah, so we have here three ways, right?
Yes,
This is
sir.
a dot frame is a method name, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
And method name is same, but different arguments are there. What we can call?
Sub different
See, when
documents.
we have same method name and different arguments, what are we going to call that?
Uh, no, sir, I don't remember exactly.
No, you have to remember. You have to
Yeah.
remember, because that is method overloading, right? We have
Okay, overridden as well as at the rate override.
overloading, because same method name, different arguments.
Okay,
Int
okay,
is
sir.
there, int, string, web element. We have different arguments right here.
Okay,
So
sir.
that part we can call it as a frame int index. We are going to say this one is a int index. So we will consider it as a first index is 0. So we will use that 0 because here also this is a 0th index and next one is first index like that. So in this web page, this is considered as a 0th index. When you use the integer, this is going to be treated as a 0th index and first index, second index, third index like that. Okay, with
Okay,
the
sir.
help of index. So normally index we are aware, right? So index how we are going to treat the values. So if this is a element and here if we have multiple column, so it will start from 0th index, right?
Yes, sir.
So now we will use the index concept. So you can use either string also. You can use either web element also. So three different ways you can use the concept. So now I am going to use, I am just switching to frame 0 because by default it should have the 0 default frame. But now I am using 0. Okay. So now if I run this, let us see whether application is going to execute or not, because we are instructing that you have to switch to the frame.
Okay, sir.
See, is it executed or not?
Yes, sir.
Naveen, it's printed, right? Perfectly it is. That means we are switching from default to 0th index. Okay,
Okay.
you got it, right? So now I am not going to use this. I will use this because
Okay.
here we use the two XPath, right?
Xpath.
By dot name and
Yes,
by dot XPath.
yes, sir.
Okay. So now if I'll run this, we should print the Srinath Reddy. So it will wait for 10 seconds and it will type the value, right?
Okay, sir.
In previous classes, I have told you why we are going to, whenever you identify the name and ID, then you will go with ID and name. If you are not able to identify ID and name, then we will go for the XPath, right? So
Xpath.
what
Yes,
is
sir.
the main difference between these two? Even normal scenarios in real time also, most of the people will do that mistake as, even though if they have ID and name, they will blindly go with XPath only
Yes,
because they
you are
are
right,
familiar
sir.
with XPath. Okay.
Yeah.
So where we will get the variation here? Why? Because the variation here it won't see anything, but when you are having hundreds of elements, thousands of lines of code, when you are executing, right? When you use the XPath, that will slower your execution. That faster slide, that slowness, that fastness is going to be reduced when you go with XPath compared to name and ID. Okay,
Okay,
that
okay, sir.
execution may get varies. That speed of the execution. That's
Okay,
why if you identify name and ID, then you better to go with those values only, right?
yes, sir.
However, both will work out, but you have to make that opportunity. That's it. Okay.
Uh, okay, sir.
Yeah. So this is as simple as that. So just basic concepts how to uh, use the things. So now come to the second frame. See, now we have this, right? Now we have the second frame. So now we have entered. Now here we have frame 2 and here frame 3 and frame 4 I have. So now I
Yes,
want
sir.
to pass the text in frame 3. So how to do this? Now I have to
Yes, sir.
pass some text here. I need to pass Devender in the text. So how to
Yes,
do
sir.
this?
Right. Yes, sir. I will
Right click, inspect.
inspect.
Okay.
Here also name is there. My
Name
text
is there.
only.
My text
My
3 is
name.
there. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
first of all, you have to identify the element. So let's go with here. So now will
Driver dot find
driver
element,
dot
same. Find element
element. Then you
by
have to
name.
by dot name, right?
Name.
And
Yes, sir.
string. So you no need to use that XPath here. So in
Yes, my
between you
text
can
3.
make it as a test3.
Text 3. My text 3, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now here
Send keys.
dot send keys, right?
Yes, sir.
Send keys. Now I am going to
Devendra.
pass the value as
Devendra. Yes, sir.
okay. So now I am going to use this. So now if I run this, let's try to execute here.
It will not execute, right, sir.
Yeah. See, Srinath Reddy is passing the value, but when it comes to the frame 3, it is not passing the value, right?
Yes, sir. We have to follow driver dot switch to frame 2,
Yeah,
sir.
see here, unable to locate element, right? Name
Element.
dot,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
So this is what we are going to use. So now, in order to switch to that, what we have to do, we need to use the here.
Driver dot.
Yeah, we can use the string also here, integer. So you can use here. Now this is the second index, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So now what is going to happen? Let's see. Now I have used that. Now I am passing that value. Now I run this. Now see, this time also this text is not entered right here.
Yes, sir.
See, now this time what error you may have? See here, unable to locate frame with index 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means because what is happening here, before moving into the frame 2, inside there is a default frame is there, okay? Default frame. So inside there is a default frame. So within this, right, before moving into, this is a first frame, right? This is first
Yes,
frame and this is second frame, right? So
yes,
before moving into here, we have a default frame. So that's why here it is not moving directly. So what we have to do here, driver dot switch to dot
target
frame dot
string or okay.
or you can use the default. Okay. So this is a default frame. Basically we have default. So let us see here d dot driver dot switch to dot default frame. No, not this. Dot, okay, so let's see. Now we'll see here if we try to run it and what we will get. See now
Sorry, this is okay. Now it's printing.
because that is a default means normally what is going to happen inside within these frames, right? Whenever we are switching, there is a one more default frame is available. So when the browser is trying to execute first one, again it is going back to the default. So that's why initially we are switching from that frame to this frame, and then we are printing the value. So similarly, if I pass here as a default here, in the second frame, this is the first index, right?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, if I want to pass the text in my test 2, then also we have to use the pair, because immediately it is going to be transferred to parent. So now this is a first index, right? So now here we have second,
Two.
and here I am going to use Rajnikant. See, now if
Okay.
I run this, and if I want to use some thread dot sleep, you will come to know the once you switch to see, once we go to the parent frame, then it will switch back to frame 1. So here if I see, if I'll use some thread dot sleep, you can identify the thread dot sleep. Okay, here I'm using 20 seconds. Then you have to print the value on that. So we have to add the add throws declaration.
Yes, sir.
So now let us run this. Now we have more thing. We will delete all these because we have never used that quit
Close
dot,
function.
dot close, right? That's why it is fetching all. So now let's run this. See, now it is entering, right, all the
Yes,
values.
sir.
But suppose tomorrow you don't have this test here. So I want to, you can use with the help of text also. Okay. So you have the string also, right? You have the string parameter.
Okay.
Now we have used
Correct.
it with index. So in the similar manner, you can go with driver dot switch to dot. Switch to frame. So when I'm going to use frame right here, this is the target locator. So this
Yes,
is a
sir.
string name. So I have to pass string name here. So if you want to use a string name, what I have to do here in this frame, what is the string name? So that is what we are going to provide here for frame. So you need to
Okay.
provide that one as, if we go with right here, if I'll use this one, if I right click,
Second one, sir. Text. Second one, frame two is.
yeah, anything. You can go with first one or second one, it doesn't matter. Suppose if I'll go with inspect here. So where is the target element? So you have, this is the element, right? Input text.
It's HTML.
So
I
with
got
the top of this, where is that target element? That means that is under the frame, right? Frame 2. So now you have to go back. So here you have to use where you have that frame 2. So this is what you have. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the frame, right? So the entire web page is highlighting right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
This is the text. So you have to go with this SRC, this one,
Frame two.
frame2.html. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now this is what you have to use with the help of, if you want to go with string ID. Okay. And web element also you have to identify with the help of web element. Those and all are also, we can use the same concept. So frame,
Directly, you can copy and paste that for name only, sir. And,
yeah. So here right click inspect, and here you have to go with,
frame. Yes, sir. That asserts.
so this is the string. This is 2, right?
Yes, sir.
No, I think the string, not that one. We'll see whether we will get. I don't think so. This will work. We'll see. No, that
String
is
name will
not
be
the string.
different, right?
See. Yeah,
It's
it is
not a.
not identifying. That is different. That is identifying that with the help of string, because we use it the here as index. So similarly, we can use the frame dot here string name we have to use. So what is the string name here? Not frame. No. Wait, it is not.
accepted.
No, not that one. We'll see that one. So we'll have one more. This one. Okay, default content also we have, and this one is. So we used that index here, all the places, and this one we have this. Yeah. So we have to use this frame. This text we have to use. Say for example, if I have one more things, right? So if I go with this, so no, here only you can see that. Here in this, what is the text here? So that is what we are going to see. Under this, we have the inspect type equal to text.
You can check align center is a text term. That's
No, not that.
frame,
So
frame
this
two.
one, no, we can't go with that. See, here we have some frame 2 is there, right?
Yes, sir. It's a text.
Yes. So this is the text, right?
Yes, sir.
So let us see this. So similarly here, if we have one more called as iframe, so here we have this, right? Suppose if I identify here, this is with the help of test. If I right click here, and if I'll use here checkbox is equal to rep, right? And here you have to go with top side. Okay. So this is where we have the name. So this is the second frame, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is what we have to provide it there. So here also we have the name. So here where we have this, if you go with frame 2 test value. So here where is that input type equal to test, and this is the my test 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So this one only, right? This is for
No, sir. We have to find top, I think.
top, right? So here you can see the my text 1, maybe that is my text 1. So this is the iframe. This is
Yes, sir.
frame 1, this is frame 2. Under this
Yes,
we
sir.
need to check. So under this